But to move on to the comics of the week, of course, we missed last week's show, but that didn't really become an issue because House of X 3 and 4 are they're one story. House of X 3 didn't have much in it. There was it kind of more taught you about how Sentinels work.
Yeah.
In this one, and that.
And the absolute murder of every X-Men that you know. So.
Oh yeah, rip, because that was a tough issue to get. Not in a bad way, but just like whoa, he just murdered everyone left and right.
I don't know which one I got hurt the most with, but
it's the Nightcrawler definitely. That whole I'll be waiting for you with open arms, and then he just suicide to the
right
sun.
into the sun. It's
like
there's zero chance that guy was alive after that.
Yeah.
But I thought that, with that conversation, I was never a big Wolverine fan to begin with, but that kind of humanized him a little bit.
Oh yeah,
for me,
he did wonders for everyone, especially Scott as well.
Yeah,
just he's no longer the terrorist Summers. He's now, or he was Boy Scott Summers.
And Jean acted like a real human being. The responses that she gave were
even though it was very much typical Jean. I'm just gonna, I'm the damsel in a way. It's just okay, Jean, you do you. But...
And then let's face it, man. Archangel went out like a punk kind of.
He died off screen. Him and someone else. I can't remember the name. It's cool. you went off screen,
but can you tell me this though? I need more Sabretooth, man.
Yes.
That scene in the cart room with him, and I'm like, all right. That's the old. That's
Hickman being we're going back to the old Sabretooth. None of this new Axis stuff. We're going back to this guy does not give a damn. No.
He's an absolute murderer. I will kill you and your children. So
it's and I'll be happy about it. It will not affect me in any way. But I really like that courtroom scene. Just for the Emma Frost stuff and the
yeah.
It's I make you do whatever I want, but I'm not gonna.
She just kind of dropped the mic on the whole situation.
So how about you just give us him back, and I'll let you think you could do anything.
I'm allowing you to do this.
Yeah. so don't forget that. It was just
Yeah. I mean, for something that had very little progression of the story, I still really enjoyed the book.
Oh yeah, it didn't push anything forward, but my main takeaway from it is all the Sentinel stuff.
Yeah.
It's you had the Omega Mutant list. We now have how the Sentinels work. It's you got your Mother Mold that makes the Master Molds, that makes your Sentinels, Omega Sentinels, Sentinel nanites in people, and then you've got your Nimrods, which is no longer there can only be one Nimrod. You can have as many Nimrods as you want, which is a very terrifying thought. Just
it gave us the family tree of Sentinels, man, how they work.
It's just it's kind of scary.
What was your favorite cover of that? Kind of a weird question, but.
I didn't really see any of the covers for this issue.
Again, I'm a sucker.
Got them all again?
Got them all, man. I can't. It's
how many issues of Hoxpox do you have?
Let's put it this way: my wife is telling me to get another, because I have maybe 5 short boxes full of comics, and I think 2 of them are filled with most recent stuff. So. Yeah, it just, I think...
so it was just Hoxpox.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. When I came home with it, I had to hide.
Yeah.
Because I had if you look at my backpack, it's, just filled with, every cover they put out, man. I'm I am truly a sucker.
You're dedicated to the cause?
Yeah. But my question is, and I'm sure I'm going to get an email about this, is where's my free copies, man?
I mean, yeah.
Even though I'm putting the fact that I work for the company aside, I think I put a lot of money into all these covers. I want at least one issue for free.
Yeah. Hey Marvel, I wouldn't tell me that's about a free copy.
Yeah.
Please.
You know, maybe I'll just complain that to Midtown because that's where all the money goes to.
It's like, hey, here's my proof of employment. Like, give me free stuff.
Hey, man, I own.
I make these live.
Yes.
Give me free stuff.
Here's my driver's license.
Now, what I want to know is they're not dead.
No, I think
obviously not dead.
I think that comes in like the plant people, the pod people. I think that's...
Oh yeah, see now that's what I was gonna get to. Do we reckon that first panel from House of X1, where Charles is like, to me, my X-Men, they're all crawling out the pods, is post this issue?
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get that answer anytime soon.
Because it's kind of like it seems very fitting that they dead. We all know they're gonna die. Like, it was a suicide mission from the start, and the way like 3 was talking about it, and it's like, yeah, Scott doesn't really look happy about this, and Xavier's like, no, you're fine. So like, I think they all kind of assumed they were going to die anyway. But,
yeah. Do you think, like, knowing that, do you think these are the original X-Men, or do you think these are just
no. Or at least like the original 5 all seem way too different to what they have been recently.
Yeah.
The original ones. I don't know. I didn't read the Age of X-Man stuff because yawn.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I don't know if anyone died in that. I know people got like transported to a different, like an alternate reality, like Age of Apocalypse, and like I remember people saying like a ton of mutants died, but I don't know if it was like. I know. I didn't think Scott died in that because Scott was not over there; he was over here. So
was Bishop one of those characters? You know what I mean? Because like I
think he might have been.
I was gonna say like he's like neither height. He's like nowhere near any of these stories. So and like he's been pretty like. I mean, he hasn't been like front and center, but I mean he's like one of those mutants that are pretty well known.
So everyone knows Bishop. Yeah, I imagine at some point he'll be around, but.
He'll be a pod person too, so.
Oh, they'll all be pod people at some point.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know. I was looking at the solicits for like New Mutants and stuff like that. I should have looked at it a lot closer before. Like, this is like a side tangent. Sorry. The Black Tongue Cassidy is in one of those covers for.
Yeah, like, he is. Yeah. I saw that as well. I was just like,
I was way off on that.
They're bringing literally everyone. Like to be fair, there is that cover. I want to say it's Bagley doing it, but he's doing like an every mutant ever cover.
Yeah.
So, God help you. There's millions of mutants. That's going to be a ton of covers. So.
Yeah, that
make sure to hide that from the wife.
Yeah, that pertains to me. You're talking directly to me.
So, I like, you know, Sinister's got to appear in this sometime as well.
I think Sinister is like pretty front and center in the next. I think.
So I know he's on the cover at least.
Well, I think that they're gonna go into the Mars thing in the next issue.
Yeah, the breeding pits. Yeah.
That
makes sense.
And that's definitely interesting.
I say like it all makes sense because I was like.
You say makes sense. That's kind
of... I know. That's kind of why I stopped. I was like, doesn't actually make sense.
That's an oxymoron right there.
But it's more like it would make sense. Is probably the better sense to have if like that first thing we see on Hawks #1 is after this.
Yeah.
You know we've seen stuff out of order before, so what's to say that isn't actually that? Like,
yeah.
So if that is now, or like at least not necessarily now, but it's after Xavier goes to Sinister and he's like, hey, look, we have everyone stored in Krakoa. So
like the original.
You've got their genetic makeup. Just get them back.
No, the answer is this, man. If you're in charge, and this is why I think Xavier's a villain. You put the one guy, Mr. Sinister, in charge of like the breeding pits, right? Like
it seems very counterproductive.
Yeah, I mean, like up to this point, you know that this guy is like basically a monster when he's like been doing this before, and you're like, he's sorry, he's okay, he's gonna be in charge of all this, and like,
see, the reason why he's in charge now is because Hickman's making him a mutant.
Yeah, you think so?
No,
I guess that makes sense.
He was asked the question, "What are your top 5 favorite mutants?" And Mr. Sinister was on it.
See, I think he always should have been one. I think.
Yeah. It's like the whole external argument, Apocalypse. Like people debated it for years if he was or wasn't, and now he's kind of like, no, we are answering that question. It's like, yeah.
He's probably tired of hearing that question.
Probably, yeah. He's like, right, Apocalypse and external, Sinister's a mutant. They're
done. Drop the mic. Any more questions you want to answer?
Speaking of dropping the mics, can we talk about the shade Hickman threw on Wanda?
Yeah.
Like the Pretenders. Like, excuse me, it's not her fault. You can blame Magneto for that one.
I bet you were in the back of your mind when he said that.
That was a slight triggering tingle in the back of my skull, just like Hickman.
I love you, but I hate you right now.
How dare you? She did nothing.
Conflicting emotions.
She's done a lot wrong. But no, she saved people in AVX.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more to that than he might. I don't think
it was very propagandary. Which, to be fair, it was meant to be the whole no more bit. It's like I really like that. I love that ending bit. Yeah. It's like, here's how many people died from Sentinels in Genosha. Here's people Wanda killed. And it's like no more.
Yeah, come on. No, I think there might be more to this, because you don't take a character that's been a mutant from day one and say, yeah, she's not really one.
She was never a mutant to begin with.
What? Really?
Yes, she was on the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, but she was never actually a mutant until they made Magneto the parent or the father.
Well, anytime I go onto I don't know, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and a question like this comes up, I'm definitely using you as a link.
For future reference, her original parents were Miss America and the Wizard.
Really? Did not know that.
Yeah,
wow.
They were left at the base of I think they were born at the bottom of Wundagore Mountain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wasn't High Evolutionary involved in some way?
I think he was originally, yeah, because what the retcon they made in 2014 was essentially just putting them back to that one.
Yeah, but I think it makes more sense to have her as a mutant than to not. I mean,
I mean, no, I'm just trying to word it, because everyone, I am very much the outlier on that. Like, I'm fully aware I'm in the 0.0 recurring mindset of people that actually don't want Wanda and Pietro to be mutants and be with Magneto. I actually prefer them being their own thing and not being in someone's shadow. That's me. It's like
So if the show makes her a mutant, you'd be very.
Pretty perturbed if they made her a mutant. Pretty perturbed.
Okay.
It's a fair warning to everyone that's currently writing the script. If you do it, you're gonna get an angry me.
I will put this in notes and slip into it.
Tip exit out quick. Tip exit out.
Yeah, there's one guy in particular.
Yeah.
Very serious about this.
He's the only person who will ever meet that actually will not want her to be a mutant.
I mean,
if you're a mutant, it's whatever. But it's just
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It shows to me that I'm not really educated on Wanda.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like everyone associates her with being a mutant. Like, fair enough, she was in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and Fox had them with Pietro. Like, yes, you'd be forgiven for knowing it. No one really knows. People who do know it count them as mutants originally because of the whole Brotherhood bit. Yeah. So it's my interpretation of it was they weren't the kids of that, so they're not mutants. So. Yeah. I always put down more High Evolutionary. I only like it because it was the original thing. It's like I prefer things to stay how they were. But
okay, guys, we really know how Mitch feels about Wanda and mutants.
It's just the pretend bit. It's just like, oh, she's not pretend.
Yeah. I kind of think there's more to it. I think he's just trying to I think if
I surprised. My thing is that cemented that retcon. It's like, no, she's not a mutant. She's not going to be a mutant, at least in the comics again, for a while. Like, if Hickman's on X-Men and, you know, WandaVision is like, oh, yeah, I'm a mutant, she ain't going to get changed. Hickman's not going to bend on that one. So, that's like, you know, kind of, it's a bit of like a backhanded thing for me. It's like, pretend to slap. It's like, oh, she's not a mutant.
Get thoroughly offended by it. Did you tweet him back and say, hey?
No, I dare tweet Hickman.
You don't want to poke the bear, huh? So
like, you know, reading the words of God, much rather than that.
I don't know. I mean, like, I seriously think there's like a little more to that. I think they were just trying to pique people's interest.
I mean, they very well could be. To be fair, it's Hickman, so I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, like, I mean, but yeah, back to the book, man. I'm like,
it was all part of the book. It's in there. It's fine. It wasn't a tangent.
Tangent cut. But yeah, you know, I mean, so
I definitely feel like Hickman killing these guys off is like a, hey, we're now gonna get to the breeding pits.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think to me that's the interesting thing because like we're gonna find out like. I mean, like he's Sinister was demented before. I think he's going to be sadistically demented. Well,
that's the thing. This is the question because obviously Apocalypse is on Excalibur team.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a reason why. Now we've seen Charles and Moira convince Magneto to be on their side.
Yeah.
So are they going to put the same trick with Apocalypse and Sinister? It's like here, you know, with Apocalypse, kind of like. You know, you've been with this woman for thousands of years.
Yeah.
You have a history there, you know, here's why you should be with us. Are they going to do the same thing with Sinister? Like, Sinister's going to be interesting because, like, with Sinister, it all went to pot.
Yeah.
So...
Well, because I completely, like, I can see that working with Apocalypse because of the history. Mm-hmm. But, like, Sinister... he seems to be more of like the diabolical. Is like, all right, I'll agree to do it. But there's like in the back of his mind, he's like, I know, you know, he's got a different plan. You know, like it's like a means to an end. You know, like he's doing it for a specific reason.
Well, wasn't Sinister and Apocalypse like they're tied together in there?
Yeah, they did that like mini series for or was it either Apocalypse or Sinister, where Apocalypse gave Sinister
the powers. And all
that. Like he provided him with the celestial technology to
so maybe like, that like he uses that connection or maybe not uses it exactly, but he uses the concept of that connection and you know he refines it a bit more and it's like, hey, this is why I'm here.
I mean
then again it's Sinister. I think the idea of him being able to breed as many mutants as he wants is kind of up his alley.
I mean like he is like the genetic guy, you know, like I mean, this is the same guy that basically homegrown a Jean Grey.
He's the high evolutionary for mutants.
But like to me, I think that's the interesting thing is like, how do you get a guy like Sinister on your side? Like, what does it take to do that? Because he's not the type of guy that goes, I'm gonna do it for mutant kind. He's usually the guy that goes, I'm gonna do this because it seems interesting and I want to see how far it goes and see what I can do with it.
I mean, even there, it's kind of like, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in the back of their minds, they're like, all right, we're going to put him in charge of, like, breeding disease because it makes more sense, you know, because that's his thing, you know. But, like, to Sinister, it's like an opportunity to, I don't know, tamper with the Summers, you know, DNA, you know. It's like, you know, because he's been I mean, I don't think they're going to pull away from the infatuation that Sinister has with like Summers and
no, there's no way they do that.
You know, I think that might
be that's why he does it because they're like, hey, we just had Scott die, the one person you want to mess about with. You can do it now.
Here's his DNA. Go nuts, man. Make a mule with like optic blast. You know, like do what you want. You know, like that to me is the more interesting thing than Apocalypse because like. Knowing what we know now with Apocalypse and Moira, it makes sense kind of that he is.
It changes how you look at everything. It's like, I get that now.
He's never been that devious, like twisting his mustache type of villain. You know, he's always been the guy that is like, like, you know, like
survival of the fittest. Like, you got to weed the weak out. Like.
Yeah, and that's the same with like Magneto in a sense, because like he's never been like that diabolical guy. He's always been like, I'm going to do what I have to do to ensure that my people survive. Yeah. And whether that means...
A lot of X-Men villains are the same.
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of the same. Which, to be fair, there's a lot of different angles you can play with that aspect. So it's kind of...
But that's what makes Sinister like a little bit different, is like, he's not in it for like the survival of mutant kind. Even if you make that guy a mutant...
So maybe him finding out he's a mutant changes that.
You think? I don't know, man. There's nothing...
It'll be in, like, just... It's just a different direction to take him.
Yeah, because
he's like, oh,
no. He's like, now he's more sympathetic towards the mutant cause because he's, I don't know, man. Like his character, like it's like again with like the Apocalypse, like you can kind of sympathize with him to an extent, because like he's a mass murderer regardless.
Yeah,
But I mean,
he's still Apocalypse, like a guy with the name Apocalypse.
But I mean, like he doesn't have the reason of like, I hate mutants, or not hate mutants, but Mr. Sinister seems provocative when it comes to things, because he's doing it out of like curiosity. You know, like he grew Jean Grey, you know, Madeline Pryor, just out of the obsession of like that lineage, you know, and like
that was so weird.
Yeah, I mean, the 90s.
I mean, to be fair, it's not as bad as what happened to Captain Marvel. So we did not talk of that one.
Yeah, but like that's why I feel like the storyline of like why Sinister is like, you know, it seems more interesting to me, because it's like, how do they get a guy like that?
Well, I suppose we'll find out in a couple of days. So what I want to know is, what I want to see is how dangerous are mutants that know they can't die.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, because Wolverine was dangerous on his own. You know, yes, he could die, but it was extremely hard to kill him. If mutants aren't scared of death, like, it kind of takes a bit of stakes out of it, but the stakes don't really matter as much in this. It's like, you know, we're seeing the status quo shift, so if they're literally kind of like semi-Eternals at this point, like, how far are they going to take this just to make sure they survive?
Especially like a mutant like Sabretooth. I mean, could you imagine like another version of Sabretooth?
That's a terrifying thought. It's like, by the way, they killed you over there.
Here's a mass murderer. Here's the copy of that mass murderer. Like, I don't know. The only thing that I could say that's different is like the pod versions of these characters seem vastly different from their
I'd say they seem more original.
Yeah.
Counterparts. Well, I mean, not like less like they haven't had the years that we've been following them.
Yeah, because I mean, you see they
feel a bit more younger.
There's a movie called Multiplicity. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Well, it's like it's Michael Keaton, and he clones himself. But like what happens is like for each clone, it's like a different aspect of his personality. So like the prime.
That would be an interesting way of taking it.
Yeah.
So the next Scott and Jean we see isn't the Scott and Jean we just had.
Yeah, it's like a different version of. It's like a person, like a different aspect of the personality. Like in the movie, it was like there was like he had a clone that was very, very effeminate, you know.
Yeah.
Then he had a clone that was very childlike. But I don't know if they're gonna go that way, because like
I was gonna say, if you do that with Scott, you're gonna eventually get to terrorist Scott, and it's like, just kill him straight away.
That's like, let's just put a bullet in this guy's head. He's not good.
He'll come out the pod, we'll pop him, and then just make another one.
Yeah, and just we'll start back to square one. Yeah, let's get to Baby Scott.
Like with Wolverine, that would be an interesting one. There's so many different versions of Wolverine.
Yeah. Like animalistic I mean, like the Wolverine that the small snippet of that Wolverine playing with the kids, that was like a
totally different Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Wolverine like smiling and laughing and playing with kids. Yeah. You know, like that. You know, I hope they ever.
Even with like Daken, you never saw that, or Daken.
But But then again, nobody really. I don't think.
I was going to say he'll be excused for not liking that kid.
Yeah,
no.
Guy was terrible.
He's why Laura's the superior child.
But yeah, I think that's very interesting. That's an angle that I would like to see. Is like, but I definitely think Sinister is. I mean, look, his name is Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, with a name like that, it's like, oh yeah,
it's pretty on the nose, man. Like he's not Mr. I'm good, or Mr. in the middle. He's Mr. Sinister.
He's the evil Mr. Men that no one wanted.
But then again, wouldn't that be funny if it was like Mr. Sinister, but he was like a very nice guy?
I mean, maybe they just call him Nathaniel Essex and go back to just to do that.
That's true.
Just be like, hey, yeah, no. Lose the weird spiky black armor cape. Like, let's get rid of that.
Yeah,
it's not working for PR. HR doesn't like it.
Stop with the S&N stuff.
It's not really going for the brand we're trying to give up.
Try some chino pants and a polo shirt. That's a completely different bad, but like, it's a good.
We know you like wearing Victorian garb. Like, what if you did? Just make it like the boys with the whole bit with Starlight. It's like, yeah, we want you to wear this now.
Or like
we got a backstory for it and everything. Like, yeah,
here's the pirate shirt. Here's the long coat. Go nuts, man.
Got to show a bit of skin. It makes you strong. Yeah.
You got to have that extreme V-neck, But
it goes down to the crotch, exactly.
Just get rid of like the ribbon cape now. Like that's so 90s.
I never understood that cape. Just like, does that work? Like figures? Like they posable? What's going on there?
It's like they just bring in the queer eye for the queer straight guy people and like complete makeover.
I mean, I'd watch it.
That would be fine.
Mr.
And then
Sinister.
he just kills them all afterwards.
And then he clones them all again. That's what he do.
The typical line. But yeah, I think there's definitely. I mean, I would be hard pressed to say that there's something definitely like something. Something Mr. Sinister.
Something's cooking.
Yeah, something sinister about Mr. Sinister. But yeah.
Definitely going to be interesting to see what. This is the point where Hickman's like, yeah, I've got another direction I'm taking this.
Let's just go in a direction that everybody thinks we're going to go. And
it's like, we started off confusing. We then gave you a little taste of the carrot on the stick. And, you thought you knew where you were going. But then we went left. And then we gave another bite of the carrot. And then we went right.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Emotional roller coaster. Did they, I forgot. I can't find my copy. But are they going to, like, show the Krakoan language? Like, the whole...
Oh, yeah, they've shown the entire thing now.
Yeah.
I want to say... I think issue 3 might have had the entire alphabet, and I've got it up here.
All right, people, where are my Krakoan tattoos?
I tell you what, though, I said the second that thing's going to come out, it will be under fonts. It's under fonts right now. So if you want your Krakoan typeface, go there. It's free.
Well, I know what the next couple Photoshop things I'm doing.
See, here's the thing, it was so quick, I saw the font link before I saw the actual alphabet. This is like, wow. People work quick. And it was fixed, the G and the H are the right way around. So,
and, like, how much longer before people start talking in that language? So
the second they actually give you some enunciation on how it's said, yeah, people... X-Men Twitter will be nuts. It'll be like, oh, I don't speak mutant. Calm down.
2 days later, there's a college course on it.
I mean, I'd run it. So this is A. This is
cut.
I don't. No, be some weird, like, nonsensical pigeon speak, but
it means something now.
Means something to the muties. No, it's fine. But no, it's a very interesting direction. Of course, you've only got the 2 issues left for both and Pucks. So, I think we're back to Powers of X now.
So how do you think this is going to end, though?
Oh, I got no idea.
Correct answer.
42. That's how it's going to end.
Yeah, I'm still on board for Hickman. I mean, like he's not like nobody's perfect when the writing, so, but he's like pretty close to it. So.
Oh yeah, he's like 99.9% of the way there.
But yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is like, I hope they pull some of this into the X-Men movie.
Same.
Of this. I'm not saying the full on. I don't want the full Monty when it comes to this because it's going to be really hard to explain.
You couldn't start off with this. You can start off using concepts of it.
Yeah.
Like the whole like Moira thing, like that's something you save and you put in your pocket and you reveal later on.
Yeah,
like, maybe you fancy an MCU wide retcon. It's like, oh yeah, kill Moira off, and then she's back.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. It's like basically the Flashpoint version of Marvel because like that's a starting
kind
point.
Of, yeah.
Because like that's the thing they can do to just say, all right, well, if they wanted to recast all these other characters, like this is how you do it, Like,
yeah. But I just remember something that when Wolverine finally gets rid of that last like coupling for the Mother Mold, like it's giving a speech about like if humans made us and they're gods, and then you're the Titans that you're going against them, and like we'll like rain the sun down on you, whatever. It's like, so does that mean that like Mother Mold's going to take over the sun? Because that thing was active when it was falling in there, and I can't believe for a second Hickman's not going to have Sentinel somewhere.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man.
Like the world tree's currently in the sun right now, so is that gonna play a part? Could like that make some really nutty stuff?
I mean, it could be a good way to connect the. I don't know, like the. I don't know. I'm just babbling at this point.
It's just like there wasn't a lot in these two issues, but there's so much you can like just go off of.
I love the design of the space station too. It was like great.
Yeah, the old like I can't think of the word for it.
It's like a big circle with the Master Mold head in the middle.
Yeah, they call it something. There's like some actual scientific term for like a giant.
Is it like Orchis or?
No, Orchis is the organization that runs it.
Yeah.
I know it's called Soul's Hammer.
Hammer.
Stark made it in Hickman's Avengers run. But we're at the point where we are now just waffling on about
we're just basically babbling into it.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is forgive Wanda, it's not her fault.
Yes. That's the bottom line.
No more Wanda shade is what I want trending on Twitter. It won't happen.
Less Wanda shade. You don't want.
Oh yeah.
Or either way. Right? Oh yeah,
yeah.
One more thing.
One more thing. Go and shoot.
Mystique. Thank God she finally got her comeuppance. So that lady was despicable.
She did, yeah.
Despicable, man. And then she just went out, man. It's like it's exactly what she deserved, man. All the stuff
she'll be Podsteak.
But then, But then again, the little plant that became. But yeah,
you're gonna have like, Pod Summers, Pod Grey, Pod Steak, Pod Angel.
Where's the Scotty cover for that? Just pod people.
I'll give it an issue or two when the breeding pits are established, and you'll get it.
Little baby, cute little mutants.
Actually, I want to. I'm not sure if he's already done one.
I think he might have done one. I think maybe the first issue, because he's always
there was something like that. He's done something with Xavier and Pods. I'm certain of it. I can't remember though.
But either way, it's cute.
He's a guy with a very big market with how he does stuff. Very big market. Very. He's handled that very well.
Yes.
I keep knocking pop filter. God damn
it. Yeah. Don't get me started with pops, man.
But. Yeah, so to the guy on Twitter that I've never read a comic in my life, we just talked about 2 for half an hour, so there was an attempt on your
You're
end.
welcome.
It failed miserably, so yeah. But thanks everyone for joining. We'll catch you Wednesday. The TV one's going to be on Thursday because I'm having stuff in the house done, and it's going to be noisy and take hours, regrettably. So you're going to get everything a day early. So
partially my fault too.
Yeah, well, it's more. Well, it's no one's fault. It's kind of it just happened at the same time. It's like, okay, cool.
I'd say deal with it, but
I mean, you're gonna have to deal with it. You know, you're gonna get it a day early. You'll probably go on YouTube at the same time, but
you're welcome again. So,
but yeah, so hopefully next week we're back to normal or some semblance of
semblance. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining, and we will catch you all next time. So, bye.
Bye.